We operate the entire center off of donations, grants, so we're grateful for community support because it really is what makes this entire place exist and operate. Because it had to be built as a child protection center, we literally had to gut this building to the studs in order to start over, to build soundproofing and security and all of that. And again, every dollar of that was raised through community. There was no government funding invested in that. The primary function of a Child Youth Advocacy Centre is to reduce the system harm that happens to kids after an experience of abuse. So in a traditional model, if a child disclosed abuse at school, for instance, that teacher would hear a portion of that, talk to the kiddo in the classroom or the principal's office, the police would be called, they need to talk to a child protection worker separately. You can already see where this is going badly for a kiddo, right? Instead, now what happens, we plan the interview so that everyone's going to get what they need, ideally from that one interview. So when kiddos arrive here, we've prepared for their arrival. The first person they meet is a child and family advocate. That's an employee of the center. So that advocate really is that sort of bird's eye view, making sure that we always know what's happening, and they're essentially the sort of glue that binds between the agencies. The other thing the advocate is the voice of the child at any table that they're not sitting at. They're the one in the room going, wait, is that what's best for the kiddo in this particular situation? Our job is to go, what does the kid actually need? And then try to help the system move around that. You know, when we built the center, we knew we were building a space that had to feel equally comfortable for a 4-year-old as it would for potentially a 16-year-old. So our mandate, we serve children 19 and under, but in reality, the youngest client we've had to date is around 5 weeks old. So this is our medical clinic. This is probably the piece of the work we're the most proud of, and this is also the real evidence that system change is possible within this work. So today we have a pediatrician here 2 days a week, a nurse here 3 days a week, and Linnea is here 5 days a week. Every child that comes through our center has access to this clinic. It's a really important part of the healing journey to hear a healthcare professional say your body's okay, you can heal from this. In the last 18 months, we had something like 596 medical appointments in here. It's really taking a more preventative look at how do we support these kids moving forward with their health. This is a play therapy room, so this one is pretty specific to play therapy, but so that little table is actually a sand tray. Actually, be surprised how many of the adult caregivers want to get in the sand tray too. So this is our client kitchen. When we all think about kitchens, you think about the function that they serve in any family is connection, and that's what we use kitchens for. Part of our job is to recognize the profound ripple effect that abuse has in families. If you're a grandparent who is attending here with a child and you're about to assume primary care responsibility because that child was hurt at the hands of your own child, there's significant trauma that wraps around the whole family. So that's where this is really designed to kind of take that piece away and really connect. So this is our wellness space. The wellness space, again, a really big piece of change here. So we built what we call the Resilient Families Program, which is a really robust mental health program designed to answer those gaps, basically. So essentially what we do now is when kids come in for interview, the next thing that happens is they're invited in for what we call a family session. So they sit with our mental health and healthcare team together to kind of go through all that. What is actually happening at home? What are the barriers to healing? What do you want to change about your life? How do we help you get there? And then the journey starts to unfold. So we're able to really put the right people in front of families with that thinking in mind. This is our family room. Primarily, it's where kiddos get to just come and be kids again after the interview. So they can come in here and just decompress, supervised play. This is also where we do group work. So our group caregiver support work happens in here. Play is such an important part of healing. So, making sure they're regulated and ready to go. It's a beautiful thing to be able to keep families together as much as you can in these spaces. So. This is our sensory room. A lot of our kiddos have sensory needs where engaging in counseling can be really difficult. So this is a room where they can go in. It's all painted dark on purpose. There's like tactile experiences. They can change the colors of the lights on the ceiling. The bubble tube is a real focal point. It's made a big difference. Interviewing is the cornerstone of what we do. The forensic interview is every child's first day here. The forensic interview serves two really important functions. The first is this is a place where children unburden themselves. This is where healing begins. We've given them a chance at moving forward from there. The second reason, this is the potential beginning of criminal justice outcomes. These are not conversations these children typically want to have. They're almost always talking about someone who's supposed to love and care for them. So they're really tough conversations. But if we do this right and we allow for them to move forward, it's a really significant day for them to move forward from.
To be able to see it firsthand, it puts it into a whole new light, how well thought out the building is and the process and everything. I had no idea the depth and the breadth of what you do, and even if you could help one kid, let alone hundreds, is pretty mind-blowing. But I didn't imagine the space and the time and effort that goes into each of these kids. So pretty inspiring for me to be here. Thank you for what you guys do. As you know, Voyager Cares is an initiative we've been doing, and I can't think of a better organization to support in our community. So we are going to present you a check for $41,546. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Jeff.
I don't cry very often anymore. I mean, you guys got me. That's really amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you.
When I interview people to work here, I'm like, just so you know, you will cry at work. Like, this is how we roll here. And I feel like if we ever get to the point where we're not moved by what we do anymore, then we probably shouldn't do it. Thank you guys so much, because this work is so meaningful, and I'm going to tell your mom you made me cry.